Yes, people. How we doing, man? Welcome back to another stream. Sorry, the fucking delayed, man. I was on the Saeed show, midday live every Monday at 12 o'clock. I'm on Saeed's channel doing a midday live with Lee Gunner and Sava, and it just pops off. Like, debates always end up happening. We always end up overrunning. So my bad. Sorry for being late, man. It was a kind of a crazy sort of little debate we was having, man. So you should probably go check it out. But it did get spicy at the end there, didn't it, Luke? Man, listen, it's just one of them. It's different opinions, different views on how football clubs should be run. And for people who didn't watch and don't know what I'm talking about, we were talking about Brighton, and I'm basically saying I think Brighton need to consider now this strategy that they're currently doing. Is it sustainable? And probably invest more money into the team and really try and kick on from where they are. Saba's on the other side. He's happy with what's going on. It was a really good debate, man. You should probably go check it out. But yes, people, welcome in. Hopefully you guys are all right. Big up to Broken Memories. Big up to Chroma Biz. Big up to M. Thinkulu. Young Fora, Horton, Esther, Giannis, Luke, Nadir, Alec Johnson, Anthony Landoff. We got Alec Johnson, Serm, CFC, Stubbsy, Shebs is in the building, Asgar, Beyond Belief, Brandholt. Hopefully you guys are all well, man. We're going to be speaking about Jeremy Doku today, guys. Quite a lot of updates on Jeremy Doku today. Big up to Anthony, says we need to spend over £200 million this window. Skip the paperwork, skip the agreements, just pay the cash all up front. Anthony wants to get that job done quickly. Big up to everyone in the stream. Make sure you do drop a like on it if you've not done so already. Right, let's talk about Jeremy Doku. Kind of crazy situation. West Ham United have submitted a bid for Manchester City target Jeremy Doku. That's come from Jacob Steinberg. West Ham's bid is a little bit lower than what obviously Stade Rennes want. They reckon it's about 38 million pounds. So that's probably going to get rejected. But positive news is that apparently Jeremy Doku has now told his football club, Stade Rennes, that he only wants to join Manchester City. This is from TalkSport. So hopefully, despite the fact that West Ham have put that bid in for him, hopefully, even if they do get accepted, he won't want to go there and he'll want to join Manchester City. This is the rumoured asking price, £47 million. Jeremy Doku is believed to have an asking price of 47 million quid. That is, of course, not too expensive. Like, I do think it's expensive, but I don't think it's like megally overpriced. Like, at the end of the day, he's not really played that much football for Stade Rennes. He's played I think he played 1,400 minutes last year. So it is overpriced. But as I've said many times, and as you guys will definitely agree with me, everyone's overpriced these days, apart from Kovacic. Everyone's overpriced. I don't think it's an actual unreasonable sort of transfer valuation from Stade Rennes. I think they could have seen our situation when desperately needed a winger and said, no, we want 60 million, we want 70 million. And I think they would have been reasonable to do that. So I think asking only £47 million for a really promising player, I don't think that's ridiculous. I really, really don't, to be honest with you. Fabrizio Romano said this now. Manchester City have made a new verbal proposal to Stade Rennes close to 55 million euros, 60 million euros for Jeremy Doku. While there is competition from the player, obviously we know from West Ham have already put a deal in. Manchester City hope to reach an agreement this week, which is obviously promising there. So hopefully we get this deal done. Now, for me, as I've said last week, I think City should just stop messing around now, get this deal in, and get the bid made. Get it made, get it official. Listen, there's 10 days left of the transfer window. At this current stage, we need a creative midfielder, and we don't know who we're going to get because Dani Olmo now looks like he's going to be staying at Leipzig, and we need a winger, and it looks like that's probably going to be Jeremy Doku. I think City need to make it easy for themselves, and the way they do that is get this Jeremy Doku deal done rapid. Get it done rapid. Get it in today, tomorrow. Get that official bid. None of this verbal bid nonsense. Get the proper bid in. Give him 47 million quid because I think that is a reasonable valuation, and get the guy in. That gives you then 7 or 8 days, because obviously it'll take a couple of days to get this deal over the line. That'll give you 7 or 8 days to focus on this creative midfield player that we need. So I want City to hurry up now and get this deal made, because honestly, I just think that we don't want to be getting to the last day of the transfer window going in for any old attacking midfielder, because you get your pants pulled down, man. You know what I mean, with the price. So this is a very, very good valuation from Stade Rennes. They're not being knobs with the valuation. 47 is a fair value, and I get that paid and then have a look. Now, whether that's going to be Florian Wirtz, we've seen that City are interested in Florian Wirtz. I think it's going to be difficult to get him out of Bayer Leverkusen this summer. But if you really want him, you can make it happen. Do you know what I mean? You've underpaid on Kovacic. I actually think in today's market, you're looking at someone like Jeremy Doku, and I actually think that if someone said to me, I actually think that 47 million quid is underpriced for Jeremy Doku, I wouldn't argue with them. I wouldn't sit here and go, no, you're chatting shit. I can quite easily see why someone might say 47 million pound for Jeremy Doku is cheap, right? So you got a good deal there. You got Gvardiol, cheaper than anyone thought we were going to get him from. We sat on a lot of money. If you have to pay 100 million to get Florian Wirtz in, go and get him in. Go and get an attacking midfielder. Now, some people are saying, no, we can't get Florian Wirtz because he's too good to be sat on the bench. You got Foden, you got KDB. Right. First of all, KDB's out till 2024, right? So you don't have to even worry about that situation until 2024. Foden is still learning that position and will need to rotate. We play 60 games a season. And I'm sorry to bring this up because I know it's painful. But at some point, you are going to have to start thinking about who's going to be the man that replaces Kevin De Bruyne. If you want to be one of these people that just waits until he decides to leave and then go, oh, we need to now replace Kevin De Bruyne, that's fine. I'm going the other way. I think we should start looking now and thinking, okay, Kevin De Bruyne's what, 33? He's picking up a lot of injuries. I personally don't think he'll be the type of player to play for Manchester City until he's 38, in my opinion. I think he'll play for 2 or 3 years max, and then he'll go. Florian Wirtz is only 20 years old. I think that, unfortunately, you do need to start having a little bit of a look about who's going to be that guy that replaces Kevin De Bruyne. Because I'd rather get him in now, allow him to sort of, like Rodri did with Fernandinho. We got Rodri in, and he had that first year where we still had Fernandinho, he had Gundogan to learn off, and then boom, he was the man. Like I say, if you want to be a person who thinks that we should just wait for Kevin De Bruyne to leave City and then go and replace him, fine, you can do that. But then they're just going to come in, they're going to have all that pressure, all that expectation. And by the way, if you get Florian Wirtz and he turns out not to be good enough to replace Kevin De Bruyne, then you've got another transfer window to go and rectify it. If you let Kevin De Bruyne leave in 2-3 years and then go and replace him, they've got to hope that that person hits the ground running. So I think Florian Wirtz is a good option. It's going to be difficult to get him out of Leverkusen. It's not going to be impossible. You're just going to have to pay a lot of money. Rumour has it, I think I can bring it up on screen actually, that they want 100 million euros. Let me see if I can bring it up on screen. 100 million euros minimum, which, you know, what, 85 million quid? Again, you look at some of the fees that are being paid. Yeah, check this out. This is Fabrizio Romano. Only a completely crazy bid from Manchester City could change Bayer Leverkusen's stance on Florian Wirtz this summer. No negotiations are taking place at this stage, and sources expect the midfielder to stay, and are not even quoting a price. Now, 100 million to get them to answer the phone, maybe. But what I would say is, Lavia has gone for 60 million. Caicedo went for 115 million. Rice went for 105 million. You say what you want. When we eventually replace Kevin De Bruyne, we will probably be buying a player at 100 million quid. You know what I mean? So you might just have to put the cash in. I think he's a top player. I think he's a player that City should seriously look at. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's going to cost a lot of money, but it is what it is, you know? What do you want to do? We've lost out on Paqueta. We need a player. Danny Olmo's apparently not coming. So who else are we going to go for? So I would look at Florian Wirtz and listen, if Bayer Leverkusen are like, no, we want 150 million quid. All right, okay. I can understand why City would probably walk away from that. But if they say 100 million euros, I don't even think that's silly. I just don't even think that's a silly price, and we should look at it because you got to sign someone. You got to sign someone. Big up Assassin Gamer, I'm all good, bro. How are you, man? Bayer Leverkusen asking for 120 million plus. Well, that's euros, so that's probably what, 105 million pound. I'm sorry, I know it's expensive, but that's just the market that you're dealing in these days. That is the market that you're dealing in. And if you are also saying that this is a potential player that could eventually replace Kevin De Bruyne, then yeah, they are going to be up there. Because you're not going to replace Kevin De Bruyne with a £5 million player from the French second division, are you? You know what I mean? It's going to cost a lot of money. So I think we all need to get our heads around the fact that whoever we bring in, I mean, we're going to pay 85 million for Paqueta. Do you know what I mean? And Paqueta's a good player and I wanted him in, but that's still expensive. What's an extra 15 million for Florian Wirtz? Highly promising player that can play across the front three as well. He's a bit versatile. He's played left wing, he's played right wing before. Now, listen, I don't know. Maybe they'll go for someone else. There are other players that it doesn't have to be Florian Wirtz. I'm just mentioning him because I like to see us get interested in him. And obviously, Fabrizio Romano has mentioned him today. We've got a little bit more news on Florian Wirtz. This guy, Stefan Bienkowski, UK content manager for Transfermarkt, says Bayer Leverkusen are determined to keep reported Manchester City target Florian Wirtz until the Euros next summer, and will expect over 100 million euros when they eventually do sell. And move right now would be very difficult. Listen, I'm just going to call it as it is. I think that what Leverkusen are doing is they want to keep him for this season, and they want him to have the Euros because maybe they think that this year and with the Euros, if he gets many minutes, his value will go up even more. Maybe the transfer market will inflate even more. And they think that they could get like a huge fee. Like they're going to get a huge fee anyway. For City to get him out of there this summer, you're going to have to pay 100 million quid minimum. But maybe they feel that if he has a good year this year and has a good Euros, if he plays any minutes, then maybe they could get 130, 140. Who knows? Because obviously they're reluctant to sell him for some reason. Obviously, it's near the end of the transfer window as well, which is why I said you should try and get your business done early. Let's have a look at what some of you guys are saying on this one. Man City love Alvarez price deals. Yeah, we do, but we're not going to get an Alvarez price deal for an attacking midfielder. I wouldn't have imagined, because otherwise surely we would have done that before Paqueta. City are willing to spend big money on a midfielder. They've proven that twice. They bid £90 million for Declan Rice, and let's be honest, had this whole betting scandal not come out with Lucas Paqueta, that deal would have been done at around £85 million. So the club have clearly demonstrated to us as fans and the market that we are out there for a big name player, a big name acquisition at a big price. Because if they wanted a player from Argentina at 20 million quid, well, why didn't they do that before bidding for Rice? Why didn't they do that before bidding Paqueta? So I don't think they do love this. But I don't think, I would be surprised if we now went and signed a 20, 25, 30 million pound midfielder from Argentina or a low buyout clause, because otherwise, why didn't they just do that in the first place? You know what I mean? If you think he's good enough to, because whoever they buy, they've got to be good enough to come into the squad. So if you think they're good enough to come into the squad, well, why would you have bid 95 for Rice or 85 for Paqueta? You would have saved the money and go and get this guy. So I think we're going to go and get someone big. The question is who? City in a difficult position now. And like, it's quite funny, yeah, Marco Verratti on loan. It's quite funny, right? Because I've not actually criticised the board on this. You know what I mean? I put a tweet out there the other day, right? And it was just a normal tweet. And people were like, why are you criticising the board? I didn't criticise the board at all. What I said is, we have been, unfortunately, the Jude Bellingham thing has put us in a real difficult position. And I don't know why people don't accept that. We were obviously in for Jude Bellingham. He took his time. Right, he took a long time to make his decision. I think that honestly, he was like, he doesn't really know. He doesn't know whether he wants to go Man City. I think Liverpool, he passed over a little bit earlier, and I think it was between City and Real Madrid. And I don't think he made his decision. So City obviously stayed the course, which you'd expect them to do. And some people have said maybe they should have put a deadline in there. But if you really want the player, obviously that's probably why they've not put the deadline in there. He took ages. By the time we found out that he'd rejected us and gone to Real Madrid, which is completely fine, you know what I mean? Not everyone will join us. We went in for Rice. But by that time, I think Rice had already given his commitment to Arsenal. Okay? So when City went in for Declan Rice, and then we put that £90 million bid in, I can tell you now exactly what happened. We put that £90 million bid in. It got rejected. City, in my opinion, went to Declan Rice's agent and said, right, we're about to give the money that West Ham want. It's going to be accepted. If this happens, is he going to come to City? And they went, oh, I'm not sure. We're still waiting on what Arsenal are doing. At that point, that gave us the indication that Declan Rice probably preferred Arsenal because he'd given him the word that he was going to go there. So we pulled out of that deal. Otherwise, why didn't we put a second bid in? We didn't just bid £90 million, get it rejected and then go, nah, see you later. I think that's what happened. And then we've just sorted them. So we went for, I think by that point, Maddison had already gone, because I know for a fact that City were interested in Maddison. He'd already gone to Spurs because he'd seen that we was in for Bellingham, then seen that we was in for Rice, and probably just thought they're not going to come for me. And then we went in for Paqueta. And unfortunately, circumstances outside of our control meant that deal could not be completed. So I think we're in a difficult position. I don't necessarily think it's anything that we've done wrong. You can argue maybe we should have moved on the Bellingham thing a little bit earlier, but I can understand why the board stuck with him, because he's a generational talent that could go on and win Ballon d'Ors. So they wanted to stick it. They wanted the player. Then they moved on to Rice too late. He'd already wanted to go to Arsenal. Maddison had gone to Tottenham, and Paqueta's been done for gambling. So I just think we're in an awkward position. I don't think it's anything anyone's done wrong. It's just unfortunate set of circumstances, a unique set of circumstances. And now, where do we go? Dani Olmo is now reportedly not for sale. Florian Wirtz, they don't want to sell him, but you can get him out. You could get Florian Wirtz out of Bayer Leverkusen, but you're going to have to pay a lot of money. You're going to have to pay over 100 million euros. Facts. It is expensive. But what I would say is, who else is there really out there, man? Valverde, listen, Valverde is a great player, and rumour has it that he's available. I think he's a great player. Is he what we're looking for, though? As an out-and-out creative player? I don't know. Does that matter? Are we just looking for strength in depth? I'd like Valverde. I think he's a top player. I really do. Asan from 9320 Pod told Esteemed Company that he had been told by someone from the club that we are for 2 or 3 more players. He's confident it will be done. Well, I think we will get another player, 100%. Well, we're going to get Doku, man. Unless we balls this up, we should get the Doku deal. He didn't play at the weekend. Did he come off the bench? I know he didn't start for Stade Rennes. That's obviously a big sign that he didn't start. I don't know if he come off the bench. Maybe someone in the chat can let me know. But I think that deal should get done ASAP, like within the next day or two. And then it's just about the midfielder. I see a lot of people mentioning Eze. Look, I like Eze. Think he's a top player. How much is he going to cost? Can we get him out of Palace? They've managed to hold on to Elise. So would they be willing to let Eze go, given the fact that they've managed to hold on to Elise, possibly? I think he will probably be on the list. I think you're absolutely right to sort of... He come on in the second half, did he? Pick up... He missed a one-on-one. No, he didn't miss a one-on-one. That's crazy. I think he'll be on the list. Thiago Almada, yeah, a lot of people mentioning him. Pedro Goncalves, yeah, he'll be on the list. I think there'll be Barella, probably will be on the list as well. Listen, there'll be a lot of players on the list, and I think that City now just need to have a sit down. They've been in for about 3 or 4 different midfielders, and for whatever reason, we've not managed to get any of them. Sit down. You've still got 10 days left, and this is why it's important to get this Doku deal done so you can chill. I don't want City to rush into this midfield situation, and just have a look at who's available. Who can we get? If Dani Olmo's not for sale, let's not mess around. Let's just leave it. Let's have a look who's available. Let's have a look at how much they're going to cost, how much we're willing to spend for the different players. Let's have a look at the age, the style of play, what we're actually looking for. Are we looking for more of a creative player, which I think we are? Is Pep happy with the targets, etc., etc.? And then once you've decided that, boom, go in for it, you know? Who that person is, I don't know. Is it Barella? Is it Wirtz? Is it Pedro at Sporting Lisbon? Great numbers, but he's playing in Portugal. Not sure. Listen, I think it's a difficult one. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a poll in the chat. And we'll put all. I can only put 4 names in the poll. By the way, I can only put 4 names in the poll. So let me know who you want me to put in the poll. Big up to Kru. Big up to Kru for becoming a YouTube channel member. Massively appreciate the support, bro. Thank you very much. Welcome to the squad. Links in the description. Pin comment. Sometimes there's a join button below if you want to get on that. But massively appreciate that, the support, bro. Right. Let me do a poll. So, who should City target as main midfield option? I can only do 4, though. I can only have 4. YouTube don't let me have more than 4. So I'm going to put Wirtz in there. I'll put Barella in there. A lot of people saying Frankie de Jong. Should I put Frankie de Jong in there? The thing is that realistic? Is that realistic, Frankie de Jong? I put Valverde in there because, by all accounts, he might actually be available. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about Assassin Gamer. I don't think it's realistic getting De Jong. He's on crazy money, and I don't think there's any sort of want from Frankie de Jong to leave Barcelona. So I might just I'm not going to put him in. I'm not going to put him in. Maybe Eze. Should I put Eze in there? Let me put Eze. Because you guys have mentioned Eze. So the 4 that I'm going to put in are Florian Wirtz, Barella, Valverde, and Eze. Eze is also unrealistic. I don't think it's unrealistic. Pedro, yeah, why'd you put Pedro? All right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take Eze out and I'll put Pedro. Sporting Lisbon. Right, there you go. It's difficult, man, because I can only put 4 names in the poll, which is really annoying. That YouTube needs to increase the amount of like names I can put in. But yeah, Florian Wirtz, Barella, Valverde, and Pedro are now all in the poll. So cast your vote in the poll. There's over 400 people in the stream, by the way. Smash a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel, and then have your vote in the poll. Big up to Stallion. Says, surely if we pay Inter for Barella the same as Paqueta money, it would be hard to refuse it. My only concern is Italian players like to stay in Italy. Well, this is the thing. By all accounts, I don't think he actually wants to leave Inter Milan. I don't think he's that arsed about leaving. I think he's kind of chill. I would say again, Mo from Never a Foul, who's a big Inter Milan fan, he said to me on a stream last week that he actually believes that Barella would be the perfect Manchester City player. And that's an Inter Milan fan who doesn't want the player to leave. So that is quite interesting. How he said that. But guys, have your vote in the poll. There's 400 people in the stream right now. Only got 150 votes so far. So keep your votes coming in and we'll have a look at it in just a few moments' time. No Name says, get Doku and Wirtz. Don't play games, Tiki. I think Doku will be done, bro. I think Doku will be done in the next few days, hopefully. The midfield situation, I think that could be one that takes a little bit longer and we could have a deadline day deal potentially. I just think that maybe City are just taking the time now. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think that they're just taking the time. We've got a few games now in a short period of time, which is good. We can take our time and we can identify the proper player. What you don't want to be doing is going for another player and not getting them, because you've done that with Bellingham. You did it for Rice. You did it with Paqueta, obviously out of our hands. You want to go and get this player. Do you know what I mean? So that's why you got to get the Doku deal done quick. Yo, big up to Indian Citizen, man. It's just become a YouTube channel member. I appreciate the support, bro. And welcome to the squad. Big up for the support, man. I appreciate that. Links in the description, by the way, if anyone wants to support the channel. What? Bombazzo? What do you mean, Bombazzo? Yo, what the hell are you talking about? Bombazzo? We talk about Bombazzo. Holy. Chat, we got a Bombazzo. Oh, my days. Breaking news. Manchester City will loan Kalvin Phillips this summer in a bid to get his career back on track. Even with departures, Man City feel they can do without the midfielder for a season in the hope he can reinvent himself from reluctant Nico, who's a decent source, you know. Oh, my days. Kalvin Phillips is about to leave Manchester City on loan. I wonder where he's going to go. Is there any sort of links coming out about who would want him? No, nothing at the moment. Liverpool. No way. Liverpool are considering a move for Kalvin Phillips. The Manchester City midfielder had planned to stay and fight for his place at the club, but Liverpool could now test the player's resolve after adding him to their shortlist. Whoa. Kalvin Phillips possibly making a move to Liverpool. That is crazy. Well, if that happens, we definitely need another midfielder, because that would mean that Kovacic would effectively be our second choice DM. So you need to get a player in. Oh my days. I think, honestly, for me now, you got to go and get Florian Wirtz, man. You got to go and drop the cash. You got to go and drop the cash for me. Let's have a look at the poll, by the way, in the chat. 58% of you guys want Florian Wirtz as the main target. 19% of people want Barella as the main target. 18% of people want Valverde as the main target. And 6% of people want Pedro Goncalves from Sporting Lisbon. Yo, guys, I can't get over this. I can't get over this news. Man City going to loan him out. To be honest, it's not surprising because I've said for some time, Pep Guardiola don't trust this kid. Pep Guardiola don't trust him. You know what I mean? You can say what you want. You can say what you want about him. You know what I mean? Pep don't trust him, mate. He don't get on the football pitch. You don't even get on for 5 minutes, mate. You don't trust him. So this is probably the correct decision. But you've got to go and get another midfielder now because Kovacic would effectively be our backup DM. And at the moment, he's a starting midfielder. So you're going to have to go and get someone. Danny Olmo's not available. Go and drop the bag on Wirtz, man. Go and drop the cash. Or Barella, Valverde, Pedro. At the moment, I'd take any of them. We have to go and get someone in. We have to go and get someone in. Now, normally, I would say you've got to go and get a player in before you let Phillips go. But to be honest with you, Phillips ain't playing at all. That you can actually let Phillips go and then just sign a player afterwards. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I can't believe they're letting him go. No Name Again says, I don't think we need another DM since Pepe's doing the centre-back thing in midfield. Kovacic is money, but we need a midfielder and a winger. Nothing changed. No, I agree. I agree in that we don't need a DM. I don't think we need a DM because I agree. I think you've got the midfield. You can got the defenders who step into the DM position. You've also got Kovacic. So I don't think we need to sign a defensive midfield player. But what it does mean is you absolutely have to sign an attacking midfield player. You have to. Because if Rodri gets injured, Kovacic goes to DM, you've only got Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva who can play in that midfield. And by the way, both of them players are also the players that can play right wing. Also, you've got Alvarez, but he ain't really an attacking mid. He is a striker who's just filling in at the moment because we've got no one else who can play there. So you have to go and get someone in. You have to. You know what I mean? This is why it's so gutting about Paqueta, man. I'd fully come round to Paqueta. I'd invested all my money into the Paqueta deal, and I was ready for it. I watched it. I watched the highlights. I checked out his stats, and I was like, I'm ready for Paqueta. And then that news broke, and I was just like, for fuck's sake, man. When's it going to end? You know what I mean? When are we going to get this player in? I really wanted Paqueta. I really, really wanted him. Yeah, full send the war chest. Yeah. Condino says, now we need 2 midfielders. No excuses. Tiki, get up. Do we need 2 midfielders, though? Big up Abdallah, by the way. Came on the phone-in show the other day with Luke. Big up, man. Do we need 2? I don't know. I don't think we need 2, bro, because Kalvin Phillips doesn't play for us anyway. You know what I mean? So I don't think we need 2. I just think we need 1. Kovacic is now your backup DM. And then you've got Bernardo Silva, Foden, Wirtz or whoever else you sign, and then Kevin De Bruyne when he comes back from an injury. In an ideal world, yes, you do want 1, but I don't think we're going to get 2 midfielders in now. Not with 9 days, 10 days left. I think 1 midfielder, 1 winger, which is Jeremy Doku, and I think that is probably okay. In an ideal world, I'd like 2, but we're not going to get 2 in now. I don't see it. I don't see us getting 2 in. Nah, don't see it at all. Maybe McAtee might be told to stay. I know obviously there's rumours about him going out on loan. But yeah, I don't think it. Janice says, do you believe we have a big secret signing? Well, I mean, let's be honest. I've said this before earlier in the stream. We are highly, highly likely now to drop big cash on a midfielder. So people are saying, oh yeah, Wirtz is expensive. The money's there. The money's there. We're gonna drop the cash on someone. We're gonna drop the cash on someone. We bid it for Rice. Yeah, more news, more news. More Bombazzo news. Kalvin Phillips has been offered to various Premier League clubs and could even be some interest in teams in Europe. Liverpool have been linked. They are yet to commit and may feel they have enough in that area of the pitch, which they absolutely don't. That is absolute cap. Liverpool definitely do need a proper DM. And it'd be interesting to see if Phillips does well at Liverpool. Various Premier League clubs have been offered. I wonder how much City Oh, it's a loan, isn't it? It's a lot. I was going to say, I wonder how much City would want for Kalvin Phillips, but it's a loan deal. City want to loan him. If they did sell him, if we did sell Phillips, how much would you want to sell him for? Because we signed him for 42 million. He's not played. He's regressed since he's come at Manchester City because of his injuries and the lack of game minutes. However, at the same time, the market has gone crazy. And his English tax as well. Could we get our money back for him? Could we get our money back? I don't think that's completely unrealistic, to be honest with you. 35 mil, 30 mil. I'd take 30, says Sam. I think we could potentially get 30 mil, you know. And I know that obviously he's not played, but I just think you're getting a guy who's 26 years old and is a good player when he plays regularly. And I think any team signing him for 30, 35 million is going to get a decent player. Whoa. I wonder who we're going to buy, man. I wonder who we're going to buy. I wonder who we're looking at. Because obviously City will be looking at midfielders now, whether it be Wirtz, whether it be Valverde, whether it be Pedro, Barella. We'll be looking at a player. And I don't see us personally going for like a cheap midfielder. Not when you bid for Rice. Not when you wanted Bellingham. Not when you wanted Paqueta. All at £80 million plus. Who are we going to go for? It's exciting, isn't it? It is exciting. We know that City like Wirtz as well. We know that City have tracked Wirtz for quite some time. But it's whether they're going to drop the big cash because it would need to be a big offer to get him in. Right, I can't believe that. I can't believe City. Well, I can. I don't know why I'm saying that because I can believe it. It's absolutely believable that we'll let Kalvin Phillips go. 100%. The big one for me is, would we let him go to Liverpool? Because for me, Liverpool, are one DM away from potentially challenging from the league. So would we let him go to Liverpool? That's crazy, man. What about two wingers and move Jack Grealish in the middle, said Javed. Listen, a few people have mentioned Jack Grealish in the middle, but for me, I just think Pep loves what Jack Grealish offers on that left-hand side. He ain't going to move him into midfield, bro. I don't see it. I think he's a left winger. I think that Pep likes what he's doing. Surely Liverpool would want a permanent transfer. They probably would want a permanent transfer, but if they get him on loan, I don't see why they would say no. Because they desperately need a DM. They desperately need a DM. You know what I mean? And if they get him on loan, that doesn't stop him from going and getting another DM. Well, they've already got a DM. They got that Endo, didn't they? But this strengthens them. This strengthens them a little bit. Alvarez cooking in midfield at the moment this year. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the City sort of transfer board meetings because I'd love to know who they're going to go for. 56% now of people say go for Florian Wirtz as your main transfer option. I'm with you guys, man. I'm with you. Drop the cash on him. Should we check his stats out again? Because I forgot his numbers. Wirtz transfer mark. Let's have a look at the guy's numbers, man. Let's have a look at the guy's numbers. Florian Wirtz. So he's 20 years old. He's got a contract until 2027, and he's got a transfer marked estimated value of 85 million euros. He's played 2 games so far, scored 2 goals this season. So he's had a great start to the season. Last year was an injury hit year, 4 goals, 8 assists in 1,815 minutes. Oh, told me tweet. Oh my God, what is going on? By the way, guys, big up, man, for the updates in the chat. You guys are fucking killing it in this stream. Told me tweet. City are prepared to go to £90 million they offered for Declan Rice to secure Pep, the midfielder he wants in the coming days. Big payday for one lucky club. And then what is this? Who is that? Do it. Do it. Jewish. Give the fuck. Yeah, okay. So City, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said before. City are prepared to spend 90 million quid because we've already bid that. Who though? Who? Ooh, Barella could be the one. You know what? Barella could be the one. Should I? I'm going to go on Google, yeah? See if there's any news. Barella, Man City. Let's see if there's any news about Barella to Manchester City in the last... Should we do the last 24 hours? Last 24 hours. Nah, there's nothing, man. There's nothing. Sometimes if you do that and you see something, you'll see like a dodgy source, but someone who's clearly in the know. Barella. Should we check Barella's numbers? Have we ever checked Barella's numbers? I can't remember if we ever checked his numbers on screen. So Barella contracted until 2026. Estimated transfer market value of 75 million euros. He's 26 years old and he's right-footed. And this is his numbers. Played one game this year, didn't score an assist. Okay, so last year, impressive, guys. 9 goals, 10 assists. Let me bring it up on screen, actually. 9 goals, 10 assists for Nicolo Barella last year. That's 6 goals, 7 assists in the league, 3 goals in 12 Champions League games, 2 assists in the Italian Cup, and 1 assist in the Supercoppa Italiana. Barella. You got me thinking it could be Barella. You know. Ah, man. Let's see what the poll was on Barella. 21%. To be fair, out of the options, he was the second favourite player from you guys in the chat, Nicolo Barella, with a 17% of the thing. Well, this is the thing, Rahul. I completely agree on Barella in the sense that, like, everything that I'm reading at the moment about Barella seems to suggest that he doesn't really want to leave Italy. But if City come calling, maybe they'll go for him. I'm not sure. Big up to Inten Man with a super chat says, what do you think Alvarez would sell for right now? Oh, my God. In the current market, at least 80 million minimum just to answer the phone, in my opinion. Just to answer the phone, 80 million. But probably higher than that, to be honest with you, bro. Let me see if... yeah, big up Anthony, man. Guys, keep smashing the likes on the stream, man. 500 people in the building. Let's get those likes past 200. Verts, 20 years old, world-class potential, says Leonard. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Listen, for me, I'd probably go Florian Wirtz. But I'd be open to Nicolo Barella, of course I would. Who else would I potentially be open to? Pedro is a player at Sporting that has the most incredible numbers I think I've ever seen. However, it is the Portuguese league and he's not played any international football, so you can't compare his stats. So, for example, do you know with Lucas Paqueta, right? If you look at his West Ham numbers, they're okay. But then people will say, yeah, but LB, the reason his numbers might not be great is because he's playing at West Ham, which is fair. So then you check his Lyon numbers. His Lyon numbers are decent. But then what you can do with Lucas Paqueta, you can check his Brazilian numbers, and they're really, really good for when he plays for Brazil. The problem with Pedro, he's not played it. So you're literally just going off Portuguese numbers. But I always think that sometimes, yes, you've got to take those sort of stats with a pinch of salt. I mean, you have to take stats, no matter where they come from, with a pinch of salt. But you have to take the numbers from Portugal with a pinch of salt. However, if you watch the player, you should be able to tell whether that player is good, regardless of who he's playing against, regardless of the players that are on the football pitch, because you can look with your own eyes. Do you know what I mean? If you put Lionel Messi in a Sunday League team and you watch him, you should know that Lionel Messi is a very good player. You should not come away from that game and go, oh, yeah, he was good, wasn't he? That Argentinian lad, but he's playing Sunday League. You should know that he's a top player. You know what I mean? So we might have to do some highlights. We might have to do some highlights and check them out, you know, and do some reactions. I might start off with Jeremy Doku, man, because for me, I think this Jeremy Doku one's going to happen soon. I reckon that's going to happen in the next day or two. So I might do a Jeremy Doku highlights reaction, and then I might go through some of these players, man. I might just one a day. I might just do one a day. Every single attacking midfielder in the world. Let's start off with Wirtz. Let's do Barella. Let's do Valverde. Let's do Pedro. And let's do every single one, man. I'm going to end that poll right now. But by far, the clear winner in the poll is Florian Wirtz. How much is that going to cost? Listen, I think it's going to cost a lot of money. I think you're looking at least 100 million quid for Florian Wirtz. But if you think he's worth it, if you can watch him, if you watch him play football and you think he's worth the money, pay it. Pay it. Listen, I think we're going to be in for a very, very interesting 10 days. A very interesting 10 days. Because this Jeremy Doku deal is interesting. We've got firm interest from West Ham. We've got a little bit of interest from Chelsea. We've got interest from City, and we believe at the moment, we can bring it up on screen, that Jeremy Doku prefers Manchester City. Prefers Manchester City. So I think this deal now, unless City are stupid with this deal gets done in the next few days. And then it's just a case of, what do we do? What do we do in this last 10 days of this midfielder? I think we're in for an extremely interesting 10 days. So, guys, make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Hit the notification bell icon, because if I could go live like that without any news, without any sort of preparation. If it's breaking news, I'm going to just go live. And if you're just subscribed, you won't get the notification bell. You won't get the notifications. So hit the notification bell, and we'll smash it out. I might do the Jeremy Doku. I'm going to put this video up today. My reaction to Jeremy Doku's best goals going uploaded today. And then tomorrow, I might do the Florian Wirtz, and then I might just do one a day until we get this midfielder in. I might just do that, man. So listen, also, just a quick one. Do you guys want an Arsenal watch-along tonight? If you want me to do it, I might do an Arsenal watch-along tonight, if you guys fancy it. You know what I mean? I won't mind watching Arsenal. I won't mind watching Arsenal tonight. They're playing Palace. We could potentially have a little scout on Eze. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? I might watch it. So listen, I might do it. I might do that one. I might do it. So yeah, make sure you join me for that. Listen, Jeremy Doku video. Mark my word, I've got a commitment now. You will get a Jeremy Doku reaction video today. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. Big up to everyone that's joined. It's been a mad stream. You guys have been on it with the bombazos in the chat. So massive thanks for that one. Big up to No Name again. Says, imagine Barella, Kovacic, and Gvardiol and Doku. That would be some window. That would be some window for sure. For sure. Big up for the super chats, No Name. Appreciate it, Bray. Right, listen, I'm going to bounce. Going to go to the gym, get some gains. And then Jeremy Doku later on. Arsenal watch along after that. But yeah, big 10 days. Listen, guys, have a great Monday. And I'll catch you later. See you in a bit.